Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Zero Hour. You know, last week, Senator Elizabeth Warren warned us that, quote, the House of Representatives is about to show us the worst of government for the rich and powerful. The House of Representatives promptly did, and the Senate quickly followed suit. As a result, we're now at greater risk of another derivatives-based financial crisis like the one we saw in 2008, and billionaires and corporations will now have even more influence over the two parties and their entrenched establishments. This spectacle, which went under the name of Cromnibus, for Continuing Resolution Omnibus, was a return to the showdown days of past years with another phony drama that was ginned up around a must-pass bill without which the government will close. All this being done to serve up a quote-unquote compromise, a quote-unquote bipartisan compromise, of course, that serves the interests of corporations and wealthy individuals at the expense of the American people. But hold the cynicism, because all is not yet lost. The Greek general Pyrrhus, from whom the word Pyrrhic victory comes, said a few more such victories and we are undone. But we're looking at the opposite situation. A few more losses like this, and folks, we might be getting somewhere. I got to tell you, it was a strange sight, though. Here we have a President Obama, who's been largely detached from the legislative process, preferring not to get involved in all of this. Suddenly, during this Cromnibus spectacle, he was reborn as an LBJ-type arm twister. Why? To pass a bill that weakens one of those achievements that was considered a signature piece of legislation for his administration, the Dodd-Frank bill. Now, that was a strange sight, even stranger perhaps, but much more predictable. The fact that CEO of J.P. Morgan Chase, Jamie Dimon, joined the president and also called members of Congress in order to get them to pass this bill with its brakes for Wall Street. You know, when the boss calls, you are supposed to pick up the phone. And I mean by that, Congressman and Jamie Dimon at J.P. Morgan Chase, not Congressman and the President of the United States. So the boss called, they answered, they passed this bill. Most House Republicans fell in line and voted for it. So did 57 Democrats. A smart analysis in the Washington Post pointed out that of those House Democrats who went along with this bill, they received, on average, twice as much money from financial interests as Democrats who voted no. So if you want to feel a little cynical now, you're allowed. Money does speak in government. Now, I said last week that this deal would be a disaster if it passed, and it is a disaster. We lost an important fight. But the good news is this. There was a fight, and it was a tough one. That's why battles like these offer reasons for long-term optimism, along with the short-term disappointment. When we fight battles like this, when people like Elizabeth Warren stand up and fight, Nancy Pelosi also stood up this week, and I want to give a shout out to her. When that happens, that forces politicians on both sides of the aisle to choose sides, Wall Street or the American people. The more that happens, the more popular pressure will shift the political debate. Sure, there were disappointments last week, major ones, but for the first time in a long time, there were some pleasant surprises too. Senator Warren, we knew she'd do a great job. She did even better than expected, though. I encourage all of you to watch her December 12th Senate floor speech, which is on YouTube. It is a must-watch if your spirits are down, because she managed to call out both Citigroup and the administrations, including the Clinton and Obama administrations, that have given Citigroup so much love and so many key popular jobs, public jobs in the government in the last two administrations. Now, the next battle will be over the appointment of Antonio Weiss, a Wall Street banker, to a critical Treasury Department position. I hope they will stand up and fight on this one, just as they have on the Wall Street amendment in the Cromnibus bill. This could be the start of something beautiful. We could see poor and middle-class Americans finally finding champions who will fight for them in the halls of Congress. That, in turn, could lead them to come out and vote for progressive candidates. But this will only happen if more elected officials are willing to put up a fight before they lose and to keep on doing it until they win. I'm Richard RJ Eskow, and this is The Zero Hour.